Hello, my dear friends. I'm Dr. Anya Sharma, and I want to share something with you today that might surprise you, maybe even concern you a little. But please, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you could change the way you feel every single morning when you wake up. You know that feeling, don't you? When you first swing your legs out of bed, and your knees send that familiar message of stiffness. Or when you stand up from your favorite chair and you hear that little symphony of creaks and pops from your joints. Maybe it's that afternoon slump that hits you like a wave, leaving you wondering where all your energy went. For 15 years, I've sat across from people just like you in my clinic at the Wellness Institute. Beautiful souls who've lived full lives, raised families, built careers, and now find themselves asking the same question. Why? Does my body feel like it's betraying me? Here's what I've discovered, and it might shake you to your core. Some of the vegetables you've been faithfully eating, the ones you were told were good for you, the ones you've trusted to nourish your body, might actually be working against you. I know it. Sounds impossible. After all, vegetables are supposed to be the heroes of our plates, aren't they? But imagine for a moment that you've been unknowingly feeding your body foods that create inflammation rather than heal it. Imagine that the very act of trying to be healthy has been undermining your joints, draining your energy, and clouding your mind. It's not your fault. You've been doing what you thought was right. We all have. Today, I want to take you on a journey. Not just any journey, but one of discovery and hope. We're going to identify 3 common vegetables that might be quietly sabotaging your well-being. But more importantly, for each one of these hidden troublemakers, I'm going to introduce you to a powerful ally, a food that will love your body back and help you reclaim the vitality you deserve. This isn't about fear, my friends. This is about understanding. This is about giving you back the power to make choices that serve your body instead of working against it. By the end of our time together, you'll have the knowledge to transform your plate into a source of healing energy. The third vegetable we'll discuss is one that shocked even me when I first learned about it. It's sitting in nearly every refrigerator in America, considered absolutely harmless, even healthy. But its effects are cumulative, silently undermining everything else you're doing right. You won't want to miss this revelation. Are you ready to discover the truth about what's really nourishing your body? Let's begin this journey together. Let me tell you about corn. Sweet, golden corn that brings back memories of summer barbecues and family gatherings. There's something so fundamentally American about corn on the cob, isn't there? The way it tastes like sunshine and childhood. The satisfying crunch. The butter dripping down your fingers. It feels wholesome, natural, like something our grandparents would have grown in their victory gardens. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The corn we eat today isn't the same corn our grandparents knew. Modern sweet corn has been transformed, bred specifically to deliver maximum sweetness to our taste buds. What seems like nature's candy is, quite literally, nature's candy. When you bite into that beautiful yellow kernel, your body experiences something very similar to drinking a sugary soda. The natural sugars hit your bloodstream like a flood, causing your insulin levels to spike dramatically. Now, imagine what this does to your body at age 60, 70, or beyond. Your system, which has been faithfully serving you for decades, suddenly has to deal with this sugar emergency. Your body goes into crisis mode. It's like a fire alarm going off in every cell. This inflammatory response doesn't just affect your blood sugar. It cascades through your entire system. Your joints feel it. Your energy levels, crash from the spike and fall. Even your brain feels clouded as your body struggles to manage this sudden assault. But the sugar spike is only half the story. Modern corn is loaded with something called omega-6 fatty acids. Now, we need some omega-6 in our diet, but most of us are drowning in it. The typical American diet provides 20 times more omega-6 than we need, and corn is one of the biggest contributors. Here's what this means for your body. Omega-6 fatty acids are highly inflammatory. Think of them as kindling for the fire of inflammation that might already be smoldering in your joints. Every time you eat corn, you're essentially throwing another log on that fire. So that innocent ear of corn is actually delivering a double blow to your system. First, it floods you with sugar, triggering an inflammatory response. Then, it feeds that inflammation with omega-6 fatty acids. No wonder your joints are talking back to you the next morning. I've watched this pattern in patient after patient. They come to me wondering why they feel stiff, why their energy crashes, why their joints ache despite eating healthy. When we start looking at their diet, corn shows up everywhere. In their evening meals, their snacks, hidden in processed foods they thought were good choices. The good news? There's a beautiful, delicious solution waiting for you. A food that gives you all the comfort and satisfaction of corn, but instead of fighting your body, it becomes your ally. What if I told you there's a vegetable that tastes even more satisfying than corn, provides steady energy instead of a crash, and actually fights inflammation in your body? What if this same food could help protect your joints and even support your vision as you age? Meet the humble sweet potato. I know what you might be thinking. Dr. Sharma, it has sweet right in the name. How can it be better than corn? This is where the magic of nature's intelligence reveals itself. Yes, sweet potatoes taste sweet, but they behave completely differently in your body than corn does. The secret lies in something corn lacks: fiber. Beautiful, protective fiber that acts like a gentle net, catching the natural sugars and releasing them slowly into your bloodstream. Instead of that jarring spike and crash you get from corn, sweet potatoes provide what I like to call sustained joy. Your energy levels rise gently and stay steady. Your body doesn't go into emergency mode. There's no inflammatory fire drill, just calm, consistent fuel that keeps you going strong throughout your day. But the benefits go far beyond blood sugar control. Sweet potatoes are one of nature's richest sources of beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. This isn't just any vitamin. It's a powerful antioxidant that acts like a bodyguard for your cells. Let me paint you a picture of what this means. That cartilage in your knees that cushions your steps. Vitamin A helps protect it from damage. Those retinas in your eyes that let you see your grandchildren's faces clearly? Vitamin A is their guardian. Every bite of sweet potato is like sending tiny repair crews throughout your body. I think about my patients who made this simple swap. Margaret, who used to suffer from afternoon energy crashes, now gardens until dinner time. Robert, who complained about morning joints stiffness, now takes long walks with his wife after breakfast. These aren't miraculous transformations. They're the natural result of giving the body what it needs instead of what inflames it. The best part? This isn't a difficult change. Roast sweet potato wedges with a sprinkle of cinnamon instead of serving corn. Add chunks of sweet potato to your stews and soups where you once used corn. Mash them with a little butter and herbs as a side dish that will make you forget you're eating healthily. Every time you choose sweet potato over corn, You're making a declaration. You're saying to your body, I choose to nourish you, not shock you. I choose sustained energy over temporary pleasure. I choose healing over harm. This is how we begin to reclaim our vitality, one mindful choice at a time. I want to introduce you to Frank, because his story might sound familiar to you. Frank is a 70-year-old retired mechanic from small-town Ohio. For 45 years, he fixed engines, rebuilt transmissions, and took pride in working with his hands. Frank was the kind of man who could solve any problem if you gave him the right tools and enough time. But there was one problem Frank couldn't fix: his knees. He came to me with tears in his eyes, saying something that broke my heart. Dr. Sharma, I can't get down on the floor to play with my granddaughter anymore. It feels like there's broken glass in my joints. I used to be the guy who could fix anything, and now I can't even fix myself. Frank had been trying to eat healthy. His wife, Mary, made sure of that. She'd read all the health magazines, watched the cooking shows, and their dinner table was always filled with what looked like the perfect healthy meal. Lean chicken breast, steamed, vegetables, and Frank's favorite, a generous helping of sautéed zucchini and summer squash. It's green. It's a vegetable. It has to be good for us, Mary would say as she served it up. And logically, it made perfect sense. Zucchini seems so innocent, so wholesome. It's recommended in every diet plan, featured in every healthy eating article. But here's what Frank and Mary didn't realize. They were unknowingly creating the perfect storm for inflammation. First, like many well-meaning cooks, Mary was sautéing that zucchini in what the grocery store labeled as vegetable oil. Sounds healthy, doesn't it? But that oil was actually soybean oil, loaded with those same inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids we talked about with corn. Every night, Frank was essentially eating vegetables that had been bathed in liquid inflammation. The zucchini itself wasn't the villain, but the way it was prepared transformed it into something that worked against his healing. But there was a second, more subtle problem. Zucchini is mostly water. While it's not harmful in itself, it was taking up valuable real estate on Frank's plate. Space that could have been filled with foods that actively fought inflammation and supported his joint health. He was filling up on something that offered little nutritional value when his body was crying out for specific nutrients to heal and protect his cartilage. Frank's story reminds me why I became a doctor. He wasn't broken. His body wasn't failing him. He was simply missing the right tools for the job. Just like in his mechanic shop, once Frank had the right tools, he could fix the problem. The transformation in Frank's life didn't require expensive treatments or complicated procedures. It required one simple but powerful swap. Instead of that inflammatory, nutrient-poor zucchini, we introduced a vegetable that would become Frank's joint healing ally. 3 months later, Frank called me with news that made my day. Dr. Sharma, I built a fort with my granddaughter yesterday. We were on the floor for 2 hours, and I got up without a single complaint from my knees. The vegetable that changed Frank's life? Brussels sprouts. I can almost hear some of you groaning right now. I know. Brussels sprouts have gotten a bad reputation over the years. Maybe you remember them from childhood, boiled until they turned gray and mushy, smelling like sulfur. But please, let me change your mind about these little green miracles. When prepared correctly, Brussels sprouts are not just delicious. They're like having a personal bodyguard for your joints. These compact little cabbages are absolutely packed with vitamin K, one of the most important nutrients for bone and joint health that most people have never heard of. Think of Vitamin K as the foreman on your body's construction site. When your body needs to build strong bones or repair cartilage, vitamin K is the one directing traffic, making sure calcium goes where it belongs. It ensures calcium strengthens your bones instead of ending up in your arteries where it doesn't belong. Without adequate vitamin K, your body simply can't maintain healthy cartilage effectively. Frank was unknowingly starving his joints of this crucial nutrient. Every night, he filled up on zucchini cooked in inflammatory oil, when he could have been eating Brussels sprouts rich in the very vitamin his cartilage needed to stay healthy. But vitamin K is just the beginning of the Brussels sprout story. These little powerhouses also contain compounds called glucosinolates. These natural chemicals have remarkable anti-inflammatory properties. So Brussels sprouts deliver a 1-2 punch. They provide the building blocks for healthy cartilage while simultaneously calming the inflammation that attacks it. The secret to falling in love with Brussels sprouts is in the preparation. Forget everything you thought you knew about cooking them. Instead, cut them in half. Toss them with olive oil, a healthy fat that actually reduces inflammation. Add some sea salt and black pepper. Then roast them in a hot oven until they're golden and crispy on the outside. What happens is magical. The outer leaves become crispy like chips, while the inside stays tender. They develop a nutty, almost sweet flavor that's completely different from those mushy, bitter sprouts you might remember. Frank's granddaughter now asks for Grandpa's crispy sprouts every time she visits. This simple swap transformed Frank's dinner plate from a source of inflammation into a joint repair toolkit. Instead of empty calories dressed in inflammatory oil, he was eating a concentrated nutrition that actively supported his body's healing processes. Frank's story teaches us something profound. Our bodies have an incredible ability to heal when we give them the right materials. We don't need to accept pain and stiffness as inevitable parts of aging. Sometimes, we just need to swap one vegetable for another. Now, we come to the third vegetable, the one I warned you about at the beginning. This is the great pretender, the vegetable that has fooled more people than any other. It sits in nearly every salad, tops almost every sandwich, and fills countless bowls across America every single day. I'm talking about iceberg lettuce. I can see you wondering, but Dr. Sharma, how can lettuce be bad? It has no calories. It's pure health. And that's exactly the illusion that makes it so insidious. Iceberg lettuce isn't harmful in the traditional sense. It won't poison you or make you sick. Its danger lies in what it represents, the greatest missed opportunity in the American diet. Iceberg lettuce is 95% water. Think about that for a moment. When you fill your bowl with iceberg lettuce, you're essentially eating crunchy water. It provides virtually no vitamins, no minerals, no antioxidants, no fiber. Nothing that your body needs to function optimally, heal itself, or fight inflammation. But here's the real tragedy. Every time you choose iceberg lettuce, you're missing the chance to nourish your body with something that could actually make a difference in how you feel. It's like having a beautiful garden plot and choosing to plant nothing but decorative rocks. It looks fine, but it will never feed you. I think about all the salads consumed in America every day. Millions of people choosing iceberg lettuce, feeling virtuous about their healthy choice, while their bodies remain starved for the nutrients they desperately need. It's a perfect example of how our food culture has confused low-calorie with healthy. The opportunity cost is staggering. That same bowl, that same salad, could be filled with vegetables that actively fight inflammation, boost energy, and protect your cells from damage. Instead, we fill it with something that does nothing except provide the satisfying crunch we associate with eating vegetables. Iceberg lettuce is the ultimate placebo food. It makes you feel like you're doing something good for your body while providing none of the benefits you're seeking. It's like taking a sugar pill when you could be taking real medicine. This isn't about demonizing icebergs. Lettuce. If you enjoy it, you can certainly include small amounts in your salads for crunch and texture. But when it becomes the foundation of your vegetable intake, when it takes up the majority of space on your plate, it becomes a barrier to the nutrition your body craves. The question isn't whether iceberg lettuce will hurt you. The question is, what amazing foods could you be eating instead? What possibilities are you missing? What energy, vitality, and healing could you be accessing if you made a different choice? Let me share Brenda's story with you, because it illustrates perfectly how one simple change can reignite the spark of life. Brenda was 72 years old, a retired librarian from sunny Florida who had spent her career surrounded by books and knowledge. She was sharp, curious, and had always prided herself on taking care of her health. But when Brenda came to see me, she looked exhausted. Not just tired from a busy day, but deeply, bone-weary, exhausted. "Dr. Sharma," she said, her voice quiet with frustration, "I feel like someone turned off my pilot light. I wake up tired. I'm tired by lunch, and by afternoon, I can barely keep my eyes open. I used to read 2 books a week, and now I can't even focus on a magazine article." Brenda was doing everything right according to conventional wisdom. She ate a big, healthy salad for lunch every day, filled with iceberg lettuce, a few cherry tomatoes, some cucumber, and a light vinaigrette. She thought she was giving her body exactly what it needed. But Brenda's beautiful, disciplined lunch was essentially a bowl of water with a few token vegetables. Her body was running on empty, desperately needing the nutrients required for energy production, brain function, and cellular repair. She was starving herself of nutrition while thinking she was eating healthily. The change we made was simple, but transformative. We replaced her foundation of iceberg lettuce with a mixture of dark, leafy greens, kale, spinach, arugula, and Swiss chard. These weren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They were simply vegetables that actually contained the nutrients her body was crying out for. Dark leafy greens are like nature's multivitamin. They're packed with magnesium, a mineral involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, including the ones that produce energy in your cells. They're rich in iron, which helps carry oxygen through your bloodstream to every tissue in your body. They contain folate and B vitamins essential for brain function and mood regulation. Brenda wasn't just tired. She was nutritionally depleted. Her cells were struggling to function without the basic building blocks they needed. It's like trying to run a car without oil, or expecting a plant to flourish without sunlight. Within 2 weeks of making this simple swap, Brenda called me with excitement in her voice that I hadn't heard during our first meeting. "Dr. Sharma, it's like someone turned the lights back on. I have energy to work in my garden after lunch. I finished a whole novel last week, and I'm starting another one today." Brenda didn't add a single supplement to her routine. She didn't start an exercise program or change anything else about her lifestyle. She simply replaced nutritionally empty leaves with nutritionally dense ones. That's the power you hold at the end of your fork. Her story reminds us that aging doesn't have to mean declining. Often, What we accept as the inevitable effects of getting older are actually the effects of not giving our bodies what they need to thrive. My dear friends, we've taken quite a journey together today. We've discovered that the innocent-looking corn on your plate might be fueling inflammation in your joints. We've learned that the zucchini you thought was harmless could be taking up valuable space that belongs to joint-protecting nutrients. And we've uncovered how the ubiquitous iceberg lettuce has been masquerading as health food while providing nothing your body actually needs. But more importantly, we've discovered the beautiful alternatives waiting to transform your health. Sweet potatoes that provide sustained energy and protect your cells. Brussels sprouts that build strong cartilage and calm inflammation. Dark, leafy greens that awaken your body's natural vitality and mental clarity. Look at these swaps again. Corn to sweet, potato, zucchini to Brussels sprouts, iceberg lettuce to nutrient-dense greens. These aren't complicated changes. They don't require expensive ingredients or culinary expertise. They're simple decisions that honor your body instead of undermining it. Frank's story shows us that joint pain doesn't have to be permanent. Brenda's transformation proves that fatigue isn't an inevitable part of aging. Your body has an incredible, innate wisdom for healing. Your job is simply to get out of its way and provide the fuel it needs. You are the author of your health story. Every meal is a new chapter. Every bite a new sentence. You can choose to write a story of inflammation, fatigue, and decline. Or you can choose to write one of vitality, energy, and strength. The choice is always yours, and you get to make it fresh at every single meal. Think about tomorrow morning. When you wake up and plan your meals, you'll have new knowledge, new power. You'll look at your plate differently, knowing that each food is either working for you or against you. You'll make choices based on how you want to feel, not just on old habits or outdated beliefs. Your best years aren't behind you, my friends. They're waiting for you to nourish them properly. They're waiting for you to give your body the respect and care it deserves after all the years it has faithfully served you. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for being open to new possibilities and for caring enough about yourself to learn and grow. Your body will thank you for every loving choice you make from this day forward. Here's to your vibrant, energetic future. It starts with your very next meal.